Today is the first video in English, and it will be a vegetarian shepherd's pie, or like it. It's more likely my way of doing it, so no way near original and nowhere near the original one, because I guess there's like hundreds of recipes all over Ireland, England, Scotland, wherever. So we are just doing my way, my vegetarian way. So it's vegetarian able, and if you swap certain things, it's even vegan. So let's start. Usually I would start by sweating off some onions, but I forgot to buy them. So we swap the onions, doesn't matter, it's not really so important, but it just tastes nice. But I decided I put leek in, so it's kind of the same. It's the same category, so it doesn't matter. I'm starting off with some celeriac and carrots, which I just will be sweating off. If you want, you can give it some color, but it doesn't matter. It's not so important. That's just some table salt. Freshly ground pepper. Yeah, a bit. I like it spicy. And that's thyme. A good bit of it. Now, where do I have it? Where? There. That's paprika. The sweet one. That's cayenne pepper. Just a little bit. As I said, I like it spicy, so I usually put a good bit of spice into it. Now that's here. Something I first discovered in Ireland, Cajun seasoning, blackened Cajun. But it was really hard to find it here in Germany, but I found it. And I like it. Yesterday or the day before I made a video about chicken wings. I used it there as well. So that's garlic powder. Just a tiny bit. Well, maybe a bit more. Just like I understood where I was working in Ireland, shepherd's pie or cottage pie or whatever you want to call it, it's usually a sauce with a topping of mashed potatoes. So it's we used to do it for stuff as like a bolognese with vegetables in it. So I pretty much just substitute the minced meat with some more vegetables. Just need a little bit more grease in there, it's not enough. If you have a problem like me, that it's so foamy all the time, put a little bit of grease in it, it stops it. Okay. So the next I add is some small diced mushrooms. Just a little bit. As I think, I don't know if I said it before, but you can choose any vegetables you want, but that's the one I found at the moment. They're reasonably inexpensive. So it's quite a cheap dish. I actually bought a whole pack of leeks. There's like over 1.5 kilos in it. So it's like 8 like sticks. I used one for 80 cents. So pretty cheap. The celery, the carrots, another piece of leek which I used yesterday. A little bit of parsley and a piece of turnip. Was €1.50. The mushrooms was the more expensive one, but I have like some nice ones left over, which I can fill. And I think there were like 2 more in it. It was just a pack of 250 gram for €1.09 or something like that. Basically I put in like 10 cents of mushroom and 8 cents, I mean not even 8 cents of leek and so on. So by my guessing I'll just say maybe €1 the whole dish. So that's some tomato paste, maybe like 2 teaspoons full. Then some stock which I don't have, so I use some instant powder and water. Just for the moment a tiny bit. So the bottom can be, like get rid of all the aromas because of the salting off and the frying. You see, like pretty much you can't see it because the pan is black. But I see it. There's some residue on the bottom which I want to have because it's aroma. It's the roasting taste which you want. And the tomato paste itself is not there to be making it dark or making it taste like tomatoes, because it's basically the sauce for it. So a tiny bit of water just helps getting rid of everything. And I'm closer to the camera. There's nothing left, just a clean pan, which makes it easier later to clean as well, by the way. So the rest of the water can go in. And a little more. That's not enough. So. Now we can get the fresh tomatoes in. I actually had them here at home already on Friday last week. I made some burgers. And today I didn't use it, so I just said to myself, don't waste them, cook them. So they will get some juice as well, and fruits, vegetables in this case. So that's fine. Now basically it has to like cook for 10 minutes or 5 minutes. I just check it regularly. And we take care of the potatoes in the time. There was just a parsley which was in the pack of the vegetables. I just, why not, for the bit of taste. It doesn't need to be in it, but it's, why not? If you have it, use it. No point of wasting it. Okay, they are soft, so we can take care of it. Maybe I should turn the oven off before. I did just notice I don't have anything to do mashed potatoes, so we do it the old way, with a fork. But it doesn't matter for it. And usually you would put cream or milk in it to make it smooth. But I do not have. I don't drink milk and I don't want to have cream in the house. So the butter is all I need to use, and some of the margarine, which is like a low-fat butter. But if you want to make it vegan, you don't use butter at all, you use like oil, olive oil for example. You can do the mashed potatoes with olive oil as well, it tastes nice as well. Obviously different than you used to, but it's fine as well. And usually you just make it more likely creamy, as good as you can, and then you put it on top. So, I just swapped to a bigger bowl, it made it easier. Added some soft cheese and some of the margarine, because it got really hard. But it's fine like it is now. The filling itself cooked now about 5 minutes, like this. My phone rang in between. It's fine. Just not salty enough. It's not seasoned very good. The spice itself is fine, that's enough, but I was actually going to fill shepherd's pie into the mushrooms, but I actually only have one of these oven usable forms. At the moment the ovens are full, so we skip that. We make it traditional, just a normal pie itself. So let's swap the bowl so you can see. So you basically just put it in, like it is. So, and you top it up with the mashed potatoes. So that's the basic construction of it. Whatever you want underneath, and the mashed potatoes with, the mashed potatoes on top. And I personally do just like an egg brush. This is egg yolk, and usually you would prefer like using cream or milk, which I don't have. So I used water instead to make it just liquider. And you see like there's these end parts of the egg yolk which you don't want to use. But the good thing is it usually keeps stuck in the brush itself, so you can just remove it quite easily. So if it's brushed, you can put up the oven quite high because it's cooked already. The sauce is cooked, the mash is cooked, and just the eggs has to be brown, that's it. So you can put it quite high, but if you want to, like for example, without the eggs, you can put it in the refrigerator and make it tomorrow. Then you have to put it longer in the oven. Or you can freeze it down, defrost it and put it longer in the oven. But as it is, it's my lunch today, so I stick it in the oven and I show you later. So, a couple hours later, there it is, finally ready. As you can see, the surface got nicely colored because of the egg. You can do it without, but it's easier and it kind of get crunchy. So yeah, I prefer it like this.